So I decided to take you through a quick tour of the garden. This is spinach and peas, and you can see the peas are growing up nicely along the fence here. There's some Swiss chard I transplanted over there. And you can see the cucumbers are starting to climb up the hill, the fencing. There's some peppers that decided to finally grow. I didn't have a place to put them, so I stuck them there. Over here is broccoli and cauliflower mixed in with some marigolds. And I still haven't got a head yet, but they sure are happy. This is the cabbage, and they are making heads. You can see down in here, starting to make balls. Pretty happy about that. Cilantro and basil. I think I'm going to take the sweet peas out because they don't seem to want to climb very well. Lettuce and more Swiss chard. Over here I moved over, and I'll tell you why, and I get to a different box. Here is kale and collard greens, both planted because they're biannual, so they will last for 2 years. The bush beans are coming up. There's savory in there because it helps to add some flavoring to the beans. Celery is growing really nicely. Fava beans have flowered. They should be making beans pretty soon. This is some volunteer potatoes and some squash that I planted all along this row here. You can see they're flowering. They're not getting very big, but I do have a couple of zucchini, so I'm pretty happy. And back there is the cantaloupe. And I planted some scarlet runner beans over here just for fun to climb along those fences. You can see those there. More potatoes over here. A couple of tomato plants tucked in. My onions that are now 3 years old that bloom and provide some really nice food for the bees. And back there is some spaghetti squash that's coming up and some butternut squash. I'll train those to go across the fencing there. Here is the tomato patch here in the middle here. And you can see carrots growing on the side, onions, and then in between is borage right there. Also supposed to help the tomatoes. And then I've got green beans planted here to grow up over this arch, so hopefully that's going to make a nice little attractive feature. Peppers of all kinds in here and of all different varieties. They're doing okay. This is the tomato bed, another one, that I planted because they all came up from volunteers from a discarded container that didn't take off in the greenhouse. It was supposed to be where the Swiss chard was, but I moved it because of all these volunteer tomatoes. So I'm going to have lots and lots of tomatoes. So that's the garden bed. The garden around here, it's looking really green and pretty. Been harvesting, of course, all the greens and getting peas and strawberries and cherries and that kind of stuff. So happy gardening. Hope yours is looking well. This is from the Tri-Cities, Washington.